Hello, my little chickadees. Who used to say that? Chickadees! Was that W.C. Fields? I don't know. Anyway, I've got a message from the emissaries about what's coming and about how we should perceive it and what we should think. I'll tell you all about it on the other side. So let's be honest here. Things are getting a bit heated, I think. You know, maybe on the face of it, it looks like, well, there's nothing much happening, the same old, same old. The emissaries say that we're coming up to an accelerated period. That's something to look forward to, isn't it? Accelerated period where lots of things are going to happen. And this is what I believe is going to happen as well, that we're going to have a tremendous amount of information. Too much information, to be honest. Too much. Already, for me, it's too much. I don't know how you feel, but when I try to keep up with what's going on, it's just like impossible. There are too many things. We have too much information, really. That's the problem. The emissaries are suggesting that that's only going to get worse or better. It depends on how you look at it. If you like lots of information, better. If you're like me, worse. And so what they suggested, the best way forward is for us to become like passive observers. That's what they said. We've got to observe. I tell you, there's a scene in a film about zombies, and a very famous actor, which I can't remember his name, was very pretty when he was younger, not so pretty now. And there was a boy who had some kind of illness, and all the zombies were running toward him in that crazed zombie-like way that zombies have, of running toward like, ooh, and he stood there, and they all ran around him. They ran around him. They didn't even look at him. They didn't pay any attention, obviously because it was something to do with his illness. They weren't interested. They didn't like to bite ill people. That was the premise of the film. That's pretty much how we've got to be. We've got these marauding zombies running toward us, and we've got to just stand there and just watch. One of the things that we've got in our skill set is to fight, is to run away, fight, and freeze. Now, freeze, why does that exist? That exists because of the fact that it really works. If there's somebody looking to punch somebody, the person they're going to punch is the one that stands out. The people who then become wallflowers and fade into the background, they don't get touched. That's what freeze is all about. Now, it has a negative context because then we're in a heightened state of, oh, I'm going to be attacked. But we've got to be more kind of like relaxed and groovy, chilled, chillaxing, going, look at that. Isn't that something? Isn't that something? That's kind of how we've got to be. There's such a lot going to happen. I do believe that we're moving into a period that we've never seen before. And we've seen some pretty shit stuff. We've lived through some pretty shit stuff. But I don't think that we've quite seen what's going to happen. I just think it's the sense I get is that it's building. Now, I'll give you some good information. So I was listening to my wonderful astrologer, and I keep saying the wonderful astrologer, Robert from Barcelona. And he was talking about the change. You know that, is it Uranus? That's Uranus? No, it's not. I think it's Saturn. I might be wrong with the planets. Okay? But it's moving into Aquarius. It's in Aquarius at the moment, but it's going to regress to Capricorn. And it's going to be there just for a couple of months. Then it's out. It's moving into the last degree, the last minute bit of Capricorn. That's the ending. It's the ending. It's the ending of all. Capricorn's all top down, dictatorship and all of that. And of course, Aquarius is not. Aquarius is all about artificial intelligence and technology and freedom and entrepreneurship. And what Robert was saying was that the star alignments that are coming and are going to be here for a good old while, he's talking about lots and lots of years. He said it's impossible, this is him, and he's been pretty good over the past few years on forecasting just based on what he reads in the stars. He said, Agenda 2030, all of this digital currency for everybody and all of these things that they want to bring in, he said there is absolutely nothing that will help them. He said all of those agendas will fail desperately because we're moving into a different place. He said it's not about all of those top-down, archetypical kind of strength positions. All of that's going to fall away. He said there's nothing that will allow them, nor give them strength, nor give them the ability to do that. So I took that as very positive because he knows what he's talking about. And what he was saying was the period that we're moving into, and especially this is the front end of next year, when all of the alignments really get cracking. He was saying that the people who are going to benefit, it's all going to be very much focused on individual worth, what we do. It's not so much collective, although we will start to unite. It's not collective, it's what can you bring to the party? And what he said is that the people who don't have any gumption, right, and that's an old word, it's what people used to say, he's got no gumption. Initiative. People who don't have any initiative, they're the ones that are going to struggle. But he said, going forward, 2025 and going forward, the people who have great ideas, the people who can read the way that things are moving and to choose and invest their time in something. And he's talking about self-employed, autonomous, entrepreneurs, all of that. He said that is going to be the opportunity of a lifetime. Right now, do I want to be starting to develop a whole new business and stuff like that? Probably not. However, it doesn't matter. It's for anybody who wants to set up new projects for their own self-development. That's the time. It's going to be you helping yourself and in turn helping other people. That's why when so many people talk about it, all of these great inventions that we have that have been squashed, people are going to start to develop them. People are going to start to use them and absolutely change the world. So that's what it's all about going forward. However, remember, the flan has to collapse. The cake has to slide off the tray. Okay? And so we've got to see the fall before we see the build, or at least they're going to happen together. I know as the old is falling away, the new will be built up. And it's going to be beautiful. And we're all going to be part of it. And we all deserve to be part of it because we've gone through the mill, haven't we? We've gone through the mill with all of this. And so while the flan is collapsing, we have to be impartial observers, calm, just watching what's going on. And maybe, as the emissary said a good while ago, now is the time to make the plans. That's what they said. Now is the time to make the plans in readiness to implement them. And it's really interesting how these things happen. I think it was, 6 months ago, maybe a bit more, that the emissary said, now's the time to make the plans, not necessarily the time to implement them, but to get everything, all the birds flying in formation. Robert said, according to the stars, and this was a while ago, like 3 months ago, he said, now's not the time to start new projects. However, now's the time to get your skills in readiness, because there's going to be a time when it's going to be like, now, let's get going. So we've got everything to work for. It's all exciting stuff, right? So when these things happen, then all we do is just rise above it because we've got bigger fish to fry. We've got a lot more cooking than the bullshit that's going on at the moment and will continue to go on. And remember, don't believe everything that we're told. From no matter what network we're getting it from, don't believe everything. You know, everything with a pinch of salt. Everything with a pinch of salt, because there's so much bullshit going around at the moment. There is so much propaganda. And all sides are doing it. All sides are just loading us, overloading us with propaganda. And so, just put a bit of distance, sit back, get your pipe out, or whatever it is that you choose to do, a gin and tonic, and just watch the world go by. Bye. Bye-bye. Because that's what's happening, yeah? I love you all, and I'll speak to you all later.